Hello everybody and welcome to another video in the IELTS Learning Tips series. I'm Bernie Wall. I'm an IELTS trainer and coach, working especially with students who need Band 7 and 8, and in particular with those who've maybe taken the exam a few times and not quite got their scores. And over the last couple of videos, I've been talking a lot about teachers and working with teachers and why it can be a good thing to work with a teacher and invest more in the preparation of your IELTS so that you don't have to take the exam as many times as some people do. And I'm continuing that theme in this video. And today what I want to do is look at the different types of course that are available to you to study IELTS and explain a little bit about what you should expect from such a course. And I hope that this might help you to make the best choice for you. If you want to get more information from me other than these videos on YouTube, then I would love you to sign up to my website, IELTSlearningtips.com, or my Facebook group, Band 7 and 8 Success and Strategies, and the links for those are below. And I'm also happy for you to contact me via Messenger, and my Facebook ID is also below. So through any of those means, if you want me to talk to me about your IELTS, I'm more than happy to do that. So let's have a look at some of the options that are available to you to work with teachers to improve your IELTS and to help you to get to the score more quickly than if you work by yourself. And there are lots of different choices. So they come in many different shapes and sizes, and generally the prices depend on the level of attention that you will get from the teacher. So the ones I'm going to look at are these, and I'll just go through them one by one and look at what you should expect from this course, and also maybe one or two things that you might need to be careful about, if you like. So let's start with free courses. There are lots of these about. Quite often they're a taster, so you might be offered a free class or 2 free classes or even 3 free classes, and then after that you're expected to take the course. So do be wary of that. If it's a taster, it's just going to give you a very light touch, so you won't get necessarily a lot of help in that free session, but it will give you an idea of what to expect should you hire that teacher to work with you or take that course. A lot of teachers do offer free help online. There are lots in the Facebook groups, and particularly during this corona pandemic, a lot of teachers who are not working have very generously given their time online. However, many of these will be going back to their jobs, so you know they may not be around forever. So it could be just a short-term thing in that case. Quite often, like the taster, it might be an introduction to their services. So they may offer a 1-week free course, but it only takes you so far. And then the idea is that you then buy the program or whatever it is. So quite often it is just a lead to something else. But if you want, you can just jump from one free offer to another and get support that way. So that is a way of doing it without having to invest any money in your teacher. Okay, the next level I would say is the online self-study. So these are standalone courses where you study yourself, but you're given a direction by the course. So often these are very easy to sign up to and tend to be a lot less expensive than working face-to-face with a teacher, obviously. And some can be very, very cheap indeed. It should be laid out well and easy to follow so that you know exactly what you have to do and when you have to do it. And it should also provide good answers for the work that you do. There might be lots of bells and whistles. That means it could be quite a fantastic site with all the latest technology, but be careful that that's not all it is, because it has to have some substance for it to be helpful. A lot are very well designed and very attractive to look at, again with bells and whistles, and it is similar in a way to using an IELTS course book. So it should, if it is a good course, it should give you explanations just as it would in a course book, showing you how to do specific types of questions, giving you techniques and approaches. But it should be more interactive than a course book, and perhaps more fun as well. And you should get explanations about things, but you won't necessarily get clarification. That means that if there's something you're not sure about, or something that you're doing in this course and you're not getting it correct, you may not have an outlet to ask why. And you may not have any assistance if you get stuck. Now, that depends on the course. I think some of them can offer this and others don't. And it probably depends on how much you spend on the course that you take. Okay, so the next thing is marking and correction services. Again, there are lots of these around for speaking and also for writing. And the clue is in the services. It's a service. So generally speaking, you would send a certain number of tasks, and you may be able to choose how many you send, and then they will correct this for you. So it will be corrected and returned. You should be able to get good feedback from the teacher who corrects it. Hopefully you will get good feedback. If they just send you a band, then that is not worthwhile. You need to understand why you've got that band, what you need to do to improve the band if it needs improving, and a lot more direction on what to do next. So if you're getting just a band, then I would say that's not a really good service. It can be limited sometimes because the teachers may only have a limited time to correct, so the feedback may not be comprehensive. And a lot of this would depend on the cost. So obviously the more you pay for your correction, the more you should get. And remember, it is a service. There is no relationship usually with the teacher. Now, in some cases there might be, but overall, a lot of these services, you just send your writing and they correct it and send it back. And you don't build a relationship with the teacher so that you're getting ongoing support. Okay. Classroom courses, generally face-to-face, but there can be online ones too, using things like Zoom. You'll have a teacher who is an expert, or at least should be an expert in IELTS, and you can interact with them directly about your individual work. So presumably in a class, you will go through the different parts of IELTS with them. You will hand in your writing, they will correct it, send it back, and you will have an opportunity to ask them further about your writing if there's anything that you're not sure about. And they should give you guidance as well as feedback. Obviously, if you're in a classroom course, you'll be meeting every day or 2-3 times a week, and you will be with your classmates and the teacher will teach you. So this should help you to be successful. If it's a very large class, then you may not get as much help as you like, or even as you need. That can be a downside if the classes are very big. The other thing about a classroom-based course is that generally the teachers will need to go for what most students need. So if the majority of students are looking for, say, 6.5, which often happens, then if you're looking for band 7s or 8s, you might not get exactly what you need in order to achieve those bands. So there is the one downside about classroom-based courses is that you don't necessarily get a lot of individual attention if you need something different from the rest of the group. Obviously, if you're in a band 7 class, then all of the work should get everybody to band 7. If you're in a band 8 class, the same. But quite often I find IELTS courses are just IELTS courses. So there could be people there who only need 5, 5.5, and then there might be others who need 7 or 7.5 or even 8. And most of it will be directed in the middle somewhere. And then finally, one-to-one coaching. This can be offline or online, so you can work online. A lot of my work is this kind of work, one-to-one coaching with individual students, and we do it online. However, I also from time to time offer offline courses where the students will come to me and we will work together. And generally speaking, they will stay with me for the duration of their course. So they'll come and stay with me for a week, typically, and we will work on their IELTS every day. And then in the evenings, we will eat together, etc. So there's lots of other time when you can practice your speaking and ask questions and all of that. So this is a typical sort of arrangement as well. It's usually used where students need very high scores or where they're in a hurry and they need to do it perhaps fairly quickly. Obviously, it still takes time if you want a high band, but you can do it more quickly in this kind of coaching, teaching situation than in any of the others. It is a premium service, and so generally it will be the most expensive type of course that you can find. But the advantages are great. So the teacher will meet you where you are now. So they're not going to go right back to the beginning as they might have to do in a classroom-based course. They're going to look at where you are now and they will support you totally to get to the band that you want. Okay. There's a lot of interaction and a lot of feedback and a lot of detailed correction. So you should see your progress as you work through the exercises and the material that the teacher gives to you. So certainly with the students I work with, they can see day by day what improvements they're making. It's very obvious and very clear. It's very hands-on. It's also bespoke. That means they are a teacher in this situation, myself included, would only be interested in your work and your progress. So it's very individual. So if I'm working with a student and their listening is absolutely fine and they're getting 8 and 9, we probably won't spend much time on listening. But if their writing is lagging or they're having problems with their reading, then we'll be able to focus more on that. And again, that might not happen in a classroom-based course or in an online interactive self-study course. It's probably the best way if you need a very high band, if you need all 7s or a mixture of 8s and 7s, because you can focus on very small elements that will help you to improve your score. And it's also the way that will get you to your score the fastest. And if you've taken the exam a few times, then it's probably the best option if you can afford to do it, because there will be this laser focus on what stopped you getting your score, and then the support to help you to overcome those things so that you can get the score that you want. The main benefits of working with any teacher is that they will get you there much faster than if you do it by yourself. So whatever course you do where a teacher is involved, either as the designer or as the deliverer, you will get there faster. That's for sure. You will have to invest some money. That's also for sure, unless you hop around on the free courses, which is a way to do it, as I mentioned before, and then you won't have to invest. But you have to consider whether your future is worth investing in, because really, and I mentioned in the video last time how two people there, one who had taken 6 years to get her band and the other who'd taken 30 tests and was still not investing in help to get her through. So you don't want to be in that position. So you have to consider, is it worth investing in my future? And IELTS can block you for a very long time if you don't get the score that the organization requires. So in the long run, it could be cheaper overall. And it will certainly be a lot cheaper than taking 30 IELTS tests for sure. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. I hope that that's helped you understand a little bit about different types of course, what to expect, what you should be getting for the money that you invest. And if you've invested in any of those courses and you're not getting that kind of help and that kind of feedback, then it might be worth having a word with the teacher and saying, you're not telling me this, you're not giving me that, because you really should get maximum value for the money that you've paid. But remember, what you get does depend on how much you're prepared to invest. Okay, I hope that that clarifies things. If you want to talk to me, as I said before, I'm more than happy to speak to any students about their IELTS, whether we end up working together or not. Even if we don't, I'm quite sure I can give you a little bit of direction. So look at the details below about how to contact me, and then either email or send me a message on Messenger or via my website. And I will then contact you and we can set up a time to speak. Okay, so thank you for listening, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.